ladies and gentlemen. I'm Joe Rapari, and this is Tab, the Truth Always Boomer. Well, this will be a video about the Democratic candidates, at least the front runners that came out of the Iowa caucus, and probably the first of many that I'll make on who's running for president. We already know Trump's running, and that's who I'm voting for, Trump 2020. So that's cool, and so I'll keep you updated on how the Democrats are doing. So I found this article in the Epoch Times, and I thought it was pretty cool. So let's pull the tab on that and see what happens. Well, I found this article in the Epoch Times, and yes, I still read newspapers. I still read. Yep, and I read hard copies. Freebies for everyone. It's John Stossel. You know Stossel. He's an award-winning news correspondent and best-selling author. His latest book is No, They Can't: Why Government Fails, But Individuals Succeed. Him and his staff put this article together, and I thought it was pretty good. So I'm going to go through it and talk about the candidates. So let's start out with education. Joe Biden would make community college free, cut student loans in half, increase Pell Grants, and modernize schools. Added to his previous campaign promises, he'd increase federal spending by $157 billion per year. Senator Elizabeth Warren would spend much more. She wants the government to provide universal health care for every baby in this country, age 0 to 5, universal pre-K for every child, raise the wages of every child care worker and preschool teacher in America, provide for universal tuition-free college, put $50 billion into historically black colleges and universities, and cancel student loan debt for 95% of the people. She'd outspend Biden, but not Senator Bernie Sanders. Sanders would forgive all student loans, even for the rich. He also demands that government give everyone child care and pre-K. Former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg also promises free child care, more pay for teachers, more career education, free college and Pell Grants, plus the refinancing of student debt. Good try, Pete, but Sanders wins in the education category with nearly $300 billion in promises. Jeez. And we're just getting started, folks. Hang on to your wallets. Climate. All the Democrats pretend they will do something useful about climate change. Biden would spend about $170 billion per year. Buttigieg $150 billion to $200 billion. Warren $300 billion. Sanders wins this category too by promising more than $1 trillion in climate change money. Oy, oy, oy. Healthcare. Even the moderate Biden now wants to build out Obamacare and to cover people here illegally. Well, they all want to do that. Isn't that just ducky? So does Buttigieg, but he'd spend twice as much on it. Warren complains the Buttigieg plan costs so much less than her plan. She'd spend $2 trillion a year. Sanders is again the biggest spender. He'd spend $3 trillion of your money on this Medicare for All plan. Well, that $2 and $3 trillion, that's way low. Medicare for All will cost at least 5 times as much as existing Medicare, and existing Medicare costs approximately $1 trillion per year, so 5 times $1 trillion is about $5 trillion a year. That's just for health care. Take a deep breath and let's continue. Welfare. In this category, Biden, to his credit, plans no new spending, but Buttigieg has been cranking out lots of new promises like $45 billion for affordable housing and $27 billion to expand Social Security payments beyond what people paid in. Warren would also spend more on affordable housing and give kids more food stamps. Sanders wins again. He promises to guarantee everyone a job, provide housing for all, and give more people food stamps. Yeah, way to go, Dems! Okay, let's see what's next. We have a miscellaneous category. Then there's spending that doesn't neatly fit into any major category, like Biden's plans for new foreign aid for Central America. Oh, that's good. Sanders' high-speed internet. Buttigieg wants to expand the national service programs like the Peace Corps, and Warren's plan to force the government to buy only U.S.-made products. Yeah, that'll fly. Finally, we found a spending category that Sanders doesn't win. With $130 billion in new plans, Biden wins the miscellaneous round. And of course, last but not least, there's Trump. At least Trump wants to spend less than the Democrats. Biden and Buttigieg would double Trump's increase. Warren would quadruple it. She'd increase spending by almost $3 trillion. But remember, her health care plan, Medicare for All scam, would cost $5 trillion, so that $3 trillion is low. But Bernie Sanders blows them all out of the water with nearly $5 trillion in proposed new spending. I'm not denying we're going to spend a lot of money, and that $5 trillion is low because that's $5 trillion just for his Medicare for All plan. So you can look at that $8 to $10 trillion for Bernie. Hold on to your wallets, folks. That's all I gotta say. Well, that's it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. It would be greatly appreciated. And remember, if we're not willing to fight for the truth, we substitute expediency and falsehood for true knowledge. Well, that's it for now. More news later. Take care, and as always, be safe.